What's up, everybody? This is Johnny Basement, and we're back here in the basement after probably about a good month off. We're back here. We're going to go in, and we're going to be doing what today? Baseball versus cricket. Before we get involved in this, subscribe, bell notice, like button, drop your comments down below. You'll also find the link to this video in the comments down below. Now, I told you guys the last time, that one video I did on cricket, I didn't know the game. I didn't understand the game. It was a learned video. The sport is not for me. I respect everybody that loves their sports. I get it. I'm a baseball fan. A lot of people find it boring. I get it. I grew up on it. I love it. I checked out your sport. You guys asked me to do it. I checked it out. I didn't like it. Okay? Maybe some of it I didn't understand. For those that were trying to help me out, great comments in the video from you guys. Thank you, because I looked into a lot of it. I understand the game a lot better now. I still am not into it. It's just not my sport. To the haters, thank you. You're damn right I'm a loudmouth American, because that's what we are. That's what we do. So people shouting that out to me thinking that bothers me, it's actually a compliment. Thank you. Much appreciated, because that's exactly what we are. And the people that shout out that we Americans only like the games in our country, would never understand ones in another, not true. Collingwood, Brisbane, watched the full AFL. I had my first footy season, absolutely loved it. Took a little while to learn it, but I loved it. Great game, great sport, and that was probably one of the greatest grand finals the sport has seen in years. And I know a lot about this game because I studied it, learned it, because footy is outstanding. So you guys had told me that Americans don't follow along and try other people's and other countries' sports. Not true. I just don't like cricket. But for the people that came and said that the athletes in cricket are better than baseball, complete and utter nonsense. Nonsense. We're going to break it down. This video breaks it down. We are going to break it down along the way. So let's check it out right now, and we'll see which really makes it better. Let's go. This is baseball versus cricket. Which sport is better? Now, going in, I do understand that these are two different sports entirely, but apparently this is a big thing. So let's go ahead and find out which sport is actually better.
And let's start by destroying myths held by cricket fans about baseball. Cricket fans will always argue that it's harder to hit a cricket ball, but this is not true. A show by ESPN Sports Science completely disproved this myth. The contact surface area of a baseball bat is significantly smaller than a cricket bat.
Wow.
Which means putting the ball in play requires more accuracy with a baseball bat. This was demonstrated where a pro cricketer tried to hit with a baseball bat with relatively poor results. And a pro baseball player tries to hit with a cricket bat with significantly better results. The reaction...
So a professional baseball player hit a cricket ball way better with their bat because it's bigger. The baseball bat is not as big. It's harder to hit. So when cricket players came over and tried to hit a baseball, couldn't do it 10% of the time. You saw the stats. When baseball professional players tried cricket, they hit it 14 out of 20 times. 14 out of 20. That's 60%. Look at that, man. 14 out of 20. Did it not say that?
Better result.
14 for 20 in play. Now again, I'm coming at it like this because of the nasty comments I got and how people were trashing my sport. I didn't do that on your other thing. I didn't understand the game. But you really want to go in. We're going to go in. Let's go in. Let's keep it going.
The reaction time has to be quicker in baseball too. The distance between the wickets in cricket is roughly 20 metres. The distance between the pitching rubber and home plate, 18 metres.
Look at that.
Therefore, you have less time to think and react in baseball. This is not a myth. This is a scientifically proven fact. It is physically harder to hit a baseball with a baseball bat. Cricket fans will argue that cricket bowlers launch the ball faster than baseball pitchers. Again, this is not true.
Right.
The average speed of a cricket ball at the top level is 88 miles an hour. The average speed of a baseball pitch, 92 miles an hour.
Now let me stop it right there.
The fastest ever cricket ball, Shoaib Akhtar, 100.2 miles an hour. The fastest ever baseball pitch, Aroldis Chapman, 105.
105.1. Now, what do you think the big difference there between a bowler and a pitcher is? These pitchers, you see Chapman getting a running start to throw 105 miles an hour? No. standing still. You don't get a running start. Now, I understand, in due respect, I understand that taking the ball and throwing it overhand like that is not easy. That's not easy. I respect that. It's not easy. It's not easy. But to sit here in the comments and tell me that American pitchers, Japanese pitchers, baseball pitchers in general, don't have the skill a bowler has? Nonsense. They stand still and throw 105, and a lot of pitchers nowadays throw 100 to 101 miles an hour. A lot of them. Standing still. They don't get a running start. Okay? 88 miles an hour, if you will not be a starting pitcher in Major League Baseball if you're throwing 88 mile an hour fastball. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen. You will be in the minor leagues. Now, the bowlers, I respect it. I understand it. Again, it's two different games. And again, people that really helped me out on this on the last video, this is not directed at you. I wasn't going to do this, but I got so much hate, and some of them were so nasty I had to remove the comments. Wow. Some of them were really bad. Really bad. Shame on you guys for doing that. You think I'm going to respond to that? No. When you hate on me, I know it's because I'm doing it right. So I do appreciate the hate, but guys, come on, man. Come on with some of these comments. They're pretty bad. Anyway, sliders, sinkers, curveballs, change-ups, fastballs, all from standing still, guys. All from standing still, okay? Let's get real. And again, these are two different sports, but again, I was pushed to do this, so let's do it.
0.1 miles an hour. Baseball wins. Cricket fans argue that cricket is played by more people worldwide. This is an annoying statistic.
That I didn't know.
Cricket is played by fewer countries where the populations are massive, and cricket fans use this to over-exaggerate popularity and therefore superiority. Baseball is played in more countries where the populations are significantly less. Baseball fans use this statistic to over-exaggerate popularity and therefore superiority. And even then, using populations or number of countries is not an accurate measure of how many people actually play the sport in these countries. To me, this does not dictate how popular a sport actually is. Cricket fans deem baseball inferior because baseball players use a glove to catch the ball. Making fun of a sport because they use equipment for safety reasons is incredibly shallow. Baseball players use gloves as a safety measure, not because they're incapable of catching a ball without a glove. And any cricket fans who disagree with that, what's this then? What's that?
Oh, what are those? Gloves. What are those? Gloves. And I don't blame them, because if the ball is coming in that fast, you got to have that. Guys, you play third base in baseball, that ball's coming at you sometimes 110 miles an hour, if not more. That's why they call it the hot corner. You're not doing that with your bare hands. It's not happening. So you don't feel this game doesn't feel the same way baseball players do. Doesn't feel the same way. So it's ridiculous to make fun of these guys for wearing gloves. Are you insane? He's wearing gloves. Why? Because he has to protect his hands. It's common sense. Come on.
What's that thing that the wicketkeeper has on his hands? Oh yeah, it's gloves. This argument is largely hypocritical. I'm all for player safety, and I condemn those who make fun of things that make a sport safe to play, especially if it's safety for kids. You literally are a disgusting scumbag if you make fun of safety measures.
He said that, not me.
On the other side of the coin, baseball fans will argue that the cricket ball is easier to hit, and therefore it's easier to score runs. But that...
Now, we did see that was true. Professional baseball players hit the ball 14 out of 20 times, where cricket players only hit the baseball with a baseball bat 10% of the time.
It's not necessarily true. Yes, we've scientifically proven that it is harder to physically hit a baseball, but it's certainly not easier to score runs because of it. In baseball, generally there's 3 ways that you can be out: struck out, caught out, or run out. In cricket, there's 10. And not only do you have to defend your wickets, you also have to defend yourself. Because in baseball, if you're hit by a pitch, you get to cry about it a little and then you get a free pass to first base.
Very true.
In cricket, if you're hit by a ball and subsequently hurt from it, it's perfectly legal. And if it strikes your leg in front of the wicket, you're out. Throwing at the batsman is not only perfectly fine, but encouraged. A ball.
My other issue is when the bowlers throw the ball, they don't have to keep it in a contained area like in baseball. Baseball is chest to the knees. That's your strike zone. You have to actually place the ball in that area. A bowler, he can throw wherever he wants. He can throw it at the batter. He can and I get it. You're allowed to do it, so they're doing it. I get it. You got one chance at bat. That's it. One chance and you're done. I understand that. It's not easy when you have one at bat and you have to score those runs. I get that. I get it. You have to protect your wickets. You got to protect yourself. So you don't know where the ball is coming from. So from a batter standpoint, that's really difficult to do in cricket. I understand that. I respect that part of it. But the bowler doesn't have the same concentration that a pitcher does. Doesn't have it. The pitcher has to make it inside that box. That's it. Just the knees. Just the knees. That's all he's got. That's it. Bowler, he can throw wherever he wants. And the batter has to be prepared. So to me, it's harder for the batter because he doesn't know where the ball is coming from. The batter in cricket, there's a lot of concentration needed there and a lot of preparation for wherever that ball is going to come. I respect that. I definitely respect that. That is a tough position to play in cricket.
Bowler could bounce the ball at your head with every ball, and it'd be perfectly acceptable. Can you score runs efficiently if they're gunning for your face? Debatable. Baseball fans will argue that it's easier to put the ball in play in cricket. But that's not true either. It's not enough to just make contact with the ball. It's putting the ball in play without being out. In baseball,
that's the same for us. You got to put the ball in play without being out. That's the same for us. I'll back it up. It's the same for us. You got to put the ball in play without being out. It's the same for us, except we got to run the bases too. We can't just hit and get runs because it landed in a certain area. We actually got to run the bases and earn that run.
It's putting the ball in play without being out. In baseball, you hit the ball between the foul lines, which forms this 90-degree area.
Right.
You hit the ball outside the foul lines, you're not out unless you're caught in foul territory. But a cricket batsman has to be able to hit 360 degrees around. Yes, they have to be adept at hitting the ball behind them as well as in front and at their sides. And even then, they could still be caught or run out, as opposed to being let off with just a foul ball in baseball. Yes, there are bigger gaps in the field because the fielding team has to come.
Now, I'll back that up again. So again, it's harder for a baseball. You have to hit it in a designated area. The batsman in cricket can hit it behind him. He can hit it anywhere. Anywhere is playable. Again, the batsman in cricket is hard. I'm giving it that for him. You can't sell me that the bowler is harder than the pitcher because it's not. You can throw it wherever you want. You can bounce it. You can throw it at the batter. You can fool that batter with anything. You don't have to worry about where you're placing that ball. Not like a pitcher in baseball. I'm sorry. Those are two different things. Now, the batter in cricket, that's tough. I'll give you that. That is tough.
In baseball. Yes, there are bigger gaps in the field because the fielding team has to cover more ground. But there's a lot more to think about than just hitting a ball with all your might. In cricket, you have to be more selective with what you hit, because once you're out, you don't get another chance to bat. You are done. Baseball fans will argue that cricket bowlers have no skill whatsoever.
I won't say
But
that.
it could be argued that they have to have more. In baseball, a pitcher stands in one place, throws the ball in the air directly to a batter, who is standing in one place. But a bowler in cricket can deliver the ball anywhere along the crease, on either side of the wicket. They can throw the ball on the full, like in baseball where it doesn't hit the ground, or they can bounce the ball from the floor. They can fast bowl it, spin it, hook it, roll it, either.
See, that's where I disagree.
The gaps around the wicket, but a ball in one place. But it could be argued that they have.
That's where I disagree. The pitcher has to get it into a designated area. The bowler can put it wherever he wants. He can put it wherever he wants. He doesn't have to worry about control. He doesn't have to worry about controlling his pitch or his bowl, however you want to word it. The pitcher does. Because if he doesn't, you're going to walk somebody and put him on base for free. So there's a lot more concentration. It's a lot more of a chess match between the pitcher, the catcher, and that batter. That catcher has to know the batter's weaknesses. He has to know what he's susceptible to swinging to. Should we throw him a curveball outside? Should we throw him a slider, make it come in? Should we keep throwing pitches to the outside of the strike zone and then we have him looking outside and then boom, drop one on the inside. There's a lot more concentration needed to get into that square. A lot more. A bowler can put it wherever he wants. Now, I wouldn't say they don't have skill. I don't agree with that. Cricket bowlers have no skill. I don't agree with that. They definitely have skills. They definitely, I'm sure, know where to bounce that ball when they're bowling it. I get it. It's just not harder than being a major league pitcher is what I'm saying. But they definitely have skill.
Have to have more. In baseball, a pitcher stands in one place, throws the ball in the air directly to a batter who is standing in one place.
See, that was a great
But a bowler in cricket can
calculated
deliver the ball
pitch
anywhere along the crease, on either side of the wicket. They can throw the ball on the full, like in baseball where it doesn't hit the ground, or they can bounce the ball from the floor. They can fast bowl it, spin it, hook it, roll it, either at the wicket, at the gaps around the wicket, or at the player themselves. Whilst we've proven that they don't throw as fast, they use infinitely more tricks to try and get the batsman
We
out.
throw sinkers too.
This,
But it has to
like
land in a
suggests,
contained area.
requires skill. Baseball fans will argue that cricket is long and boring. Not exactly covered.
Baseball could be long and boring also. Now, see, that's just a matter of an opinion. Baseball can be extremely long and boring. I grew up watching baseball. There's some games that were snooze fests, man. 0-0 forever, or 1-1 forever. I've watched those, and they are incredibly boring. As a matter of fact, baseball, if you didn't know, just instilled a pitch count. So the pitcher has to pitch the ball in a certain amount of time. 15 seconds if no one's on base, 20 seconds if someone is on base. To speed the game up a little bit. Because it can get long and boring. You'll have pitchers out there that will walk around the mound forever in between pitches. Then talk to the catcher. Then hang it. So this is a matter of opinion. So this, if anybody's saying that cricket's too long and boring, baseball can be extremely long and boring also. So we have a similarity there.
Bring themselves with glory on this one. But the reason baseball fans say this is because of test matches. Due to their format, they can take anywhere up to 5 days to play. Whilst that's down to the very nature of the sport and its rules, the same cannot be said about the newer format T20, where some of the games are shorter than Major League Baseball games. It all depends on which format you're watching. And as for the boring part, that's a subjective opinion rather than
Exactly. That's subjective opinion. I agree.
In short, whilst I've categorically destroyed the myths surrounding each sport, this video has largely been a waste of time.
Amen.
Because they're two different sports. It's kind of like comparing an apple to a lemon.
Amen.
Lemon fanboys will argue that lemons are better because they're more yellow. And apple fanboys will argue that apples are better because they begin with the letter A. You could invent any metric to support or disprove any argument between these two. But it's not a fair comparison. Because, read my lips, they are two different sports.
Amen.
Oh, and contrary to both sets of fans saying things like cricket is an inferior copy of baseball, or baseball is an American derivative of cricket, neither one of those is true. Because they always were and always have been two completely separate sports. They were invented around about the same time, with no common heritage or overlap, other than the fact that both sports originated in England. There is no sport that is objectively better, as the objectives are completely different for each one. Yes, both sports are played with a bat and a ball, but that's where the similarities end. The real question is, which sport do you prefer?
You nailed it.
It's up to you. If you've enjoyed this video,
that's what I was saying the first video around. These are two different sports entirely, and he nailed it. Both sports had a ball and a bat, and that's it. But obviously it is a big deal because if all these myths are going on against both of these sports, then obviously the bowler gets compared to the pitcher and the American batter, and it's not even just American, it's worldwide. You heard baseball is a bigger sport than cricket, and that doesn't matter. It's again of which sport you prefer. But to all the hate and the comments I got in the last cricket video I did about how baseball is inferior, we found out that that is not true. Professional baseball players had a much easier time hitting off a bowler than cricket professionals had hitting off a baseball pitcher. They couldn't do it 10% of the time. It's harder. Scientific study showed it. The video proved it. And again, we're just talking about apples and lemons. Like he said, they're two different sports entirely. But for you guys, the haters that came and trashed baseball to me, we have found out which sport is really tougher, didn't we? We found that out today. For those that love cricket, God bless you. It's your sport. I get it. I get it. I get it. Enjoy your sport, love it. It's not something I'll get into. And for the people that had the myth, oh, you guys will never get into anything outside of your guys' sports, that's not true. Boom, right there. Not true. Footy is an incredible sport. Far better sport than cricket. To me, it's more exciting. That game is amazing and incredible, and I'm glad I came upon it. And I had such tremendous help from a lot of great Aussies that were out there helping me learn that game, and I've got a lot of it down. And when the season comes along, I'm going to be doing a lot of reviews on that as well. I am not going to be responding to any hate on this video. You can bring it because I expect it. And yes, you better believe I'm a loudmouth. That's what we do over here. And that's how we bring our videos. We bring them hard. We bring them strong. We bring them real. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. This whole thing is my opinion. We're going to move on. I'm going to do other sports now. We're going to go back to doing other things. I am no longer doing any baseball versus cricket or cricket videos. Much respect to the people that helped me out. I really appreciate it. And the rest of you guys, I can't wait to read your comments. Drop them down below. Subscribe, bell notice, like button. We're going to move on to other things from this point forward. Johnny Basement, and I am out.